Capricorn, it's Suzanne with Sunny Forest Tarot here to do a little reading for you. I was away last week, whoops. So yeah, I think it's really only the second time since I've been doing this where I literally didn't do any readings last week. Personal or general. Didn't do any. Which felt weird. So, but anyways, it was good. So we're back and we're going to do a reading today from the perspective of your person asking you these questions. Okay, so this reading is going to reflect, you know, what's going on with you. All right, so let's see. So if this reading resonates for you, then you can watch the sign of your person's reading, and chances are, you know, it might be true for them as well. All right, so these first two cards here represent something that you are struggling with, possibly, you know, within yourself or within this connection in some way. All right, so let's see what we have here. Self-love. So that's what you're struggling with. The lesson here is you realize that love of self is necessary to love another. It couldn't be more true. You know, and those of you who have struggled with self-love at one point in your life or who are struggling with it now, this could very likely be why a connection maybe isn't coming together the way that you hoped for or the way that you wanted. You know, if you're projecting an energy of, you know, of a lack of self-love, that energy of lack follows you in every aspect of your life. Okay? So that's really important. What else do we have here? We have freedom. So you're struggling with your freedom in some way, maybe because you have freedom right now. Maybe you're alone. You know, you might be struggling in some way, some other way with your freedom. You may not want to give up your freedom for a specific connection in some way. I don't know. It says you are releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness. So, you know, with this card and this card, what could be happening is that you are putting up barriers that you don't even realize are there, or you're putting up resistance that you may not even be aware is there. All right, so let's see. The first question that your person is asking you is, how are you doing? How are you doing? Very general question. Let's see what comes up for you. How are you doing? What do we got? Four of Swords. I feel like this is about just giving your heart a break. I feel like you want to give your heart a break. I feel like it's coming from a loving place. You know, I feel like you might be addressing this. Well, let's see what else. What else do we have? Four of Wands. Four of Wands in the upright, and what else? Five of Swords in the reverse. Okay. I feel like you would tell your person, you know, I'm really taking stock. I'm really looking at my life a little bit. I'm looking at, you know, possibly how I might have blamed other people in the past, or, you know, I might want to shed some old patterns and behaviors with this Five of Swords in the reverse. You know, your person in some way might be feeding a pattern or a belief or, you know, a way of thinking. You know, this might be somebody that you consider kind of a, not kind of, a twin. Okay, there's twin energy here. Fours are very contemplative energy. I feel like you would tell this person that you're really looking deep into your heart. This would make sense if you are working on this, self-love. It's like you're putting yourself first right now. And you might be really looking at what your patterns have been in your life. Maybe above and beyond relationship. You know, how have these patterns affected my life? How have they affected, you know, my need or desire for freedom? Freedom to be who I am. Freedom, you know, possibly to love myself the way I know I deserve to be loved. Am I picking people? Am I attracting people that are, you know, affecting this? The green is the heart space, coming from a place of I love. You might be really looking at why you should be loving yourself more. And maybe your behaviors or patterns, you know that your behaviors and patterns have affected this for you. All right, so the next question is, what's on your mind? What are you thinking? Let's see. Hierophant, card of Taurus. Okay, so you might be thinking about a Taurus. Let's see what else. Six of Wands in the reverse. And what do we have here? Knight of Wands. So this is a card of Sagittarius. All right, so what are you thinking about? You might be thinking about a Sagittarius or a Taurus, first of all. Secondly, you know, I feel like you're really thinking about what it is that you want to commit your heart to. Do you have a vision of what your heart looks like in a commitment? Do you see that? Do you see what it is that you actually want? Can you envision that? Can you envision what it looks like, maybe who it is? You know, you might be thinking about marriage in some way. Is this something that I really want? Because both of these cards in some way are saying, I don't quite know what I want to commit my heart to. You know, Six of Wands in the reverse, you know, it's like you might be comparing yourself to other people right now, but I always say when people do that, it's like you're going on your own paradigms of a lot of people compare themselves to other people when they feel inadequate. So there's something about these other people that, you know, maybe highlight something that you're not as good at, or you're not as beautiful or as handsome or as sexy, but that is coming from your perspective. You know, beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder. I feel like you're comparing yourself to either somebody specific, or you're comparing yourself to other people in some way, in general, and it isn't serving you. Six of Wands in the upright is victory. So you don't feel victorious. You're thinking that you are not victorious when it comes to specifically commitment. So if you are thinking that you're not victorious when it comes to commitment, is that based on your past patterns and behaviors? How have you contributed to that? Because it's tied to how you love yourself. You might be judging yourself harshly. You might be judging yourself. Other people might be judging you, and it's causing you to take a deep, loving look at what's going on with you, how you truly are doing. But both of these cards here, Knight of Wands and the Hierophant, it's almost like, am I somebody that likes my freedom, Knight of Wands, so I can be available to who I want to be available to? Or am I somebody that actually really values commitment? It's like, I feel like you're thinking about both here. And if you value commitment, how can you be this? How can you have your freedom? It's like, how can I have my cake and eat it too? Essentially. How can I have my cake and eat it too? But the fact that in some way, because these two cards are here, you feel like you're not victorious when it comes to relationship or connection. And I don't feel like you have to feel that way. It's okay to have both of these energies. It might be about the fact that you need to explore these two energies. How you look at commitment, right? We've got the dark purple here, which is about the third eye chakra. How do you really look at commitment? What is it that you are saying? This is about communication. The blue is throat chakra. So what is it? What are you communicating? Does it match up with your beliefs, your vision? If it doesn't, if your communication doesn't match up with your vision, that's why you're not feeling victorious when it comes to this connection. There's like a dichotomy, a split energy there. All right, so you're thinking about this. You're thinking about, what is going on with me? Why am I torn between these two energies? Both energies have their benefits, right? The player gets to regularly feel the excitement of possibly being with somebody new or having somebody completely enraptured with them. The Hierophant, however, builds a stronger, deeper, comfortable love that you can trust, or that we hope that we can trust, right? But it misses some of this. Some people really depend on this. Some people need, and I really feel like the Knight of Wands energy, the player energy, the non-committal energy is something that a lot of people don't get past because they're addicted to this energy. There's drama here. There's passion here. And passion goes back and forth, meaning passion can be phenomenal and passion can be very negative. In some way, you might be communicating a non-committal energy and not even realize it. So the next question is, what's in your heart right now, or how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Lovers. Okay. Card of Gemini. You might be dealing with Sag, Taurus, or a Gemini. All right. So you're feeling connected to somebody. You're feeling attracted to somebody. But ironically, the Lovers a lot of times isn't about love. It's actually about that Knight of Wands energy. So, this could be a connection that struggles getting past the word go. It's always somehow kept in that new phase, which allows this Knight of Wands energy to keep bubbling up, and then it simmers down. It's like a boiling pot. You turn up the gas and the pot boils, right? And you turn down the gas and the water simmers down to, it's like with this and this, it feels like we sometimes turn up the gas and everything starts bubbling up again. And then somebody turns down the gas and everything is just kind of calm for a while. What do we have here? Why the Lovers? And then we have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. What else? And then the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So, we're asking how you're feeling right now. All right, so, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, you might be, you feel like the success of this connection is waning. It's like, again, it's like referencing to that boiling pot. Sometimes it's exactly what I need. Sometimes it's exactly what I desire. And other times, not so much. Sometimes I believe that this is going to work in the physical world, and then sometimes I don't. Seven of Wands in the reverse is this is a knowing that you, in some way, are failing to assert yourself the way you need to when it comes to a connection that you have, an attraction that you have. You know this, okay? The purple here is the crown chakra. You have a knowing about the connection. You feel the connection. I feel like you know how this other person feels about you. But in some way, you are failing to assert yourself in a way that would get a response that maybe you are hoping for. So that's why success in this connection feels, it feels temporary. And Knight of Wands energy is temporary energy. So if one or both of you are in that player energy or that player mode, if you're okay with honestly, if you can get okay with things, that everything in life is temporary, you're much better off. Because it's when we want to look at forever, that's where we start getting messed up in connections and relationships. If people, and I'm not saying all relationships, because some are meant to last for a lifetime, no doubt. But some aren't, and because people are so uncomfortable with the idea of temporary, especially when it comes to relationships, they ruin what they have because they're worried about something that will possibly never be. To enjoy the moment, and this is true for any relationship, especially if you want commitment. If you can find it in yourself to enjoy the moments, that's what creates the bond and the connection to want to be together tomorrow and the next day. Talking about or spending all of our time talking about what we want or talking about what we want in the future ruins the energy between two people today, whether it's positive or negative. If you're talking more about the relationship than experiencing it, you're not helping that relationship. And I'm not saying that talking isn't necessary or planning isn't necessary, but it should be a small portion, okay? Because it really ultimately will affect the joy and the connection, where one of you could get hit by a bus tomorrow, and you ruin today by talking about 5 years from now. So, not that that's going to happen, but seriously. All right. So, how are you feeling? You're feeling very connected to this person, possibly very attracted to this person. You like this feeling, okay? And, look where this card falls. On top of the Hierophant, and diagonal to the Knight of Wands. So I feel like this is Spirit asking you, what type of loving connection do you want? Do you want the committed, I want to be with you forever type of commitment or connection? Or do you want the, I don't know what's going to happen next month and it's exciting type of connection? What really makes things difficult for people is when they say they want this, but they behave and communicate like they want this. That's where things get a little messy. And there might be a failure to assert yourself because you're constantly going around and around in your head about this. Who am I in relationship? Who am I in connection? I used to date somebody. This is the last person that, you want to hear a funny story? I will tell you this, Capricorn. I actually told somebody that I had mono to get this guy away from me because I swear, because he wanted to get together every night. I couldn't take it. I could not take it. I mean, and it was a really defining relationship. It lasted 4 months, okay? And it was very, and you know what? I was dating a Leo. And oh my gosh, boy, could I see those qualities. It did not work. A Leo and a Capricorn, did not work. And I did. So I could have like a 6-week vacation from this guy. And I did that instead of just saying, no, I just could not say no to this person, and then have a quiet night at home. We did not mesh. Ultimately, I ended up ending it on Valentine's Day, which was not very nice, but it didn't matter to me. And that's another thing. When somebody isn't connected to you, when someone doesn't care truly, they'll be able to say just about anything to you. When someone does care about you, when someone, sometimes might go quiet on you, it's not a good way to handle things, right? But it's more of an indication that sometimes not, but sometimes it's an indicator that someone cares, what they say to you and how they say it to you, and maybe when they say it to you. So, but I had no problem. When I was ready to be done with it, I was done, and it was literally, a 5-minute conversation. But oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that guy in a while. And you know what else? that's when I got that's when I got Pebbles and Barney, when they were little puppies, and I wanted to spend more time. That was a really good indicator. I wanted to spend more time with my dogs than I did with that particular guy, and he is no more. My gosh, I haven't thought about that guy in a while. It was a while ago. Anyways, let's get back to your reading here. So this person is now asking you, do you believe in this connection with me? Do you believe in this connection with me? Do you believe in me? Let's see what you would say. Oops. Yeah. Six of Swords. What do we have? Ace of Cups. Three of Pentacles. Okay, so I would say that yes, you do believe in this connection, but why do we have the Ace of Cups here? This could be because it's a brand new connection and you're hopeful and once you have feelings for this person, they might be new feelings, you have a cup of love to give. Or is it that you love the feeling of this stage in a relationship? Okay, falling right over the Lovers and the dilemma, the challenge that we have here. And this boils down to the Knight of Wands, I feel like, is very tied to self-love, because that new phase in a relationship, that new connection really is attached to fear in a lot of ways. It isn't attached as much to love as it is to fear, because fear is what creates those butterflies in the stomach, right? And it's the idea that you don't know what this person's going to say or do. The Hierophant is where the relationship gets more predictable. We know possibly what someone's going to say or how they're going to say it. We know that this person has feelings for us. There's no surprises. So I feel like there's something attached to that. But then we have this Three of Pentacles here. And it's over, this Eight of Cups and the Knight of Wands. You actually, you don't know for sure yourself today. You don't know that it's something that can work in the physical world. Even with all of this energy here, it's like you don't know if this is something that can work in the physical world, because the yellow is that fight or flight energy. The longer that we keep this connection in this energy, this brand new love energy, sometimes people extend that out for years because they like it. They like it. And the thing is that's okay. But if you're doing it to build this up, meaning you either go from one person to the next to build up your self-love and validate yourself, or you're continuing to recapture the newness with one person. And that continually gives you this hit that helps you build up your self-love and also maintains a certain sense of freedom. I mean, I get that energy. I totally get it. It's a conundrum. It's a conundrum because I feel like you might feel that you should want this Hierophant. Marriage, commitment, long-term connection when in actuality, you may only want this. You know, the energy of accepting temporary, and I don't know why I'm getting into this so much today, but the energy of accepting temporary, I feel like is the door that feels close to you, but when you accept that energy of temporary, the door opens up to the actual type of commitment that you want. There it is. That's what it is. All right. Six of Swords in the reverse. You can't see where this is going. All right. When this card is in the upright, it's about moving from point A to point B. You're in the dark. You don't know where this is going. There's that energy of temporary showing up again. Be okay with that. Be okay with not knowing where it's going, not knowing how this is supposed to progress. All right. You've got, you know, the strongest energy here is the third eye chakra. So it's really about figuring out, you know, what your vision is for this connection. Is it this or is it this, ultimately? All right, so let's get 3 cards on what you might say or how you might be feeling towards your person right now. All right, okay, so we have, I see a rich future between us. Okay, fantastic. That's what we've been talking about. This is the third eye energy here, okay? Third eye chakra here. So you see a rich future between you and this person, but can you define what it is? I don't think you can. You might see a rich future, but you are going back and forth between these two. I feel it. What do we have here? All right. I say what makes you special to others. So you might be telling the wrong person. All right. You might be telling somebody what makes your person special. You know, you might be telling your mom, you might be telling your sister, your friends. Are you telling that person? If you are, that's great. Don't hold back things like that. That's important. Those are important things to say. What do we have here? I say why I was so confused and in the dark. So both of these, throat chakra, communication. These 2 cards here are about communication. Barney. So you might be telling your person in some way why you've been confused and in the dark. I feel like if that's the case, I feel like that would be coming from a very honest place. I also feel like this comes from a very honest place. This, I feel like, is extremely hopeful energy, you know, and lends itself to what the ideal situation feels like for you, but you don't necessarily know what that ideal situation looks like. You know what it feels like, but you don't know what it looks like yet. All right? All right, love. That is what I have for you guys. If you're looking for a deeper, more personal reading, definitely reach out. If not, no worries. Have a fantastic week. All right? Thanks so much. Bye.